What's going on? What's going on? I'm here to give my prediction for the June 15th fight between David Benavidez and Oleksandr Gvozdyk. Okay, this fight's taking place at 175 pounds. This is Benavidez's debut at this weight class. Should be rather interesting. So let's get into it. Tail of the tape. We got David Benavidez. 28 wins, no losses. 24 big wins by knockout, no draws. He's 27 years old. He is 6'2" with a 74.5-inch arm reach. All right, so yeah, we got Benavidez. Quick hands. Seriously quick hands. Knows how to put together punches in bunches, flurries. His jab is not. He has like a minimal jab. He has an okay. His jab ain't really one of them jabs that stands out that you notice. But he has a pretty good shot finder or whatever you want to call it. Footwork is minimal. Pretty decent body puncher. From what we see so far, he has a pretty good beard, but he's been hit by only like a few heavy hitters. I think one like Antonio. What's his name? Man, I keep forgetting the dude's name. Anthony Durrell. Yeah, he was a pretty good puncher. He hasn't faced many big punchers at 168. Maybe a few, David Lemieux, but he was over the hill when he fought him, So, yeah, this fight here might be a little different for him. We're gonna talk about that though. So now we're gonna get into Oleksandr Gvozdyk. All right, he has 20 wins, 1 loss, 16 wins by knockout, and 1 loss. His only loss came by knockout at the hands of Artur Benavidez. And I forgot to mention David Benavidez. His knockout ratio was 85%. All right, so he's a big puncher as well. Not like a big, one punch knockout puncher, but like a systematically sharp, strong puncher. All right. And Gvozdyk, his knockout ratio is 80%, so he's a big puncher as well. He's 37 years old, so he's much older than David Benavidez. 6'2" in height with a 75.5-inch arm reach. So, same height as David Benavidez, but has a slightly longer reach. All right. I've been watching some fights with him. He's a Ukrainian fighter. And, those Ukrainian dudes is tough. This dude he has pretty good footwork. Very technical, very good counter puncher. He has like a sneaky left that he does too. I think that Benavidez got to watch out for. He has a sneaky right hook too, from the fights that I've seen. So yeah, but he kind of puts me he reminds me like his style almost to me almost like a kind of like puts me in the mind of a Sergey Kovalev almost. But very good fighter though, very good technical dude, patient, relentless when he wants to be. Excellent right hand. Like I said, he got a dope ass right cross. Is very sneaky. That David Benavidez got to watch out for as well. So as far as the last 3 fights from this guy Gvozdyk, the one with Josu Abando, I can't find that fight anywhere, so I can't go off of that. I did watch the Benavidez fight. Very good fight. He lost. He got knocked out in the 10th round, but he gave a good one. Regarding the Bolotnik's fight, the dude just didn't have the skill and power for him. He beat him, knocked him out in the 6th round. And the Rodriguez fight, that only went 2 rounds. He just obliterated that guy. And in all the fights, he was very patient, but he's a gamey fighter. All right? Doesn't really have, as far as boxers is concerned, doesn't really have that much hand speed. Much slower than David Benavidez. But I think he got the better footwork though. You might have the better footwork than Benavidez, and he's a more patient fighter. He's not like a high volume puncher like Benavidez, man. But as far as Benavidez goes, but Gvozdyk, out of those three fights that I brought up, he looked the best against Artur Benavidez. Even though he lost, to me, he looked the best. Was very sharp in that fight. I would say second to none, the Bolotnik's fight, he looked it even better. He looked it really good too. But I think the Benavidez fight, he put up a good one, man. David Benavidez, on the other hand, his last three fights were against Demetrius Andrade, Caleb Plant, and David Lemieux. Those was his last three fights. And two of them were, knockouts. One was a UD. He got the David Lemieux fight. He destroyed him. I mean, absolutely obliterated David Lemieux. Third round knockout. Caleb Plant he looked like he tried to take his time a lot in that fight, try to be a little bit more technical, like a little bit more of a boxer, but he put hands and leather on Caleb Plant. They both did. They did a very good job. Both of them did their thing in that fight, and they made it to the 12th round. Couldn't knock out Caleb Plant, but he put up a good showing of himself. I saw almost like a different dimension of Benavidez in that fight almost. Then the Andrade fight. Very good fight. Andrade gave it all he had. Just think Andrade probably was a little too small. But Benavidez laid the leather on and put the pressure on him, man, was just dominating him, man, to the 6th round stoppage. First man to stop Demetrius Andrade was David Benavidez, so counts for something. So as far as performance goes, he looked really sharp against Demetrius Andrade. Like out of those three, I think that was his best performance so far. How does this fight look? Being that Benavidez is moving up in weight to a different weight class where dudes have significantly more power, we will have to see how he can handle Gvozdyk's power. I don't think he should have a problem handling his power, but we'll see. And we'll see how his power translates too moving up. We already know he got power at 68, he got speed. I don't think it'll be that much of a difference in his power. I think at 75 he might be a little bit more stronger though. Because Benavidez was a big kid, he was heavy. And I think that helps him a little bit, man. So I see Benavidez employ his jab a lot this fight more than you ever really saw him do it. He's a come forward fighter. But Gvozdyk, I think he has power to probably keep Benavidez at bay. He's going to be landing a lot of tricky shots. Early on, I say Gvozdyk, a lot of counters. And I think this is the fight we're going to really get to see how David Benavidez's chin is. All right, because this dude is a heavy puncher, so we'll see. And this is a bigger division. So I got early on Gvozdyk taking a lot of those rounds, maybe like the 4th. You're going to start seeing a little shift change. Benavidez going to get more accustomed to the counters. And he's going to start jabbing a lot more. And then the speed going to start taking over. And I think maybe from like 5 and up, Benavidez will probably start coasting away, probably beating up Gvozdyk. But he got to be very defensively responsible. Or I could see David getting clipped with something that he don't see, probably around 8th. But if he does it, I got Benavidez beating him up for the whole fight. I don't think this is going to end in a knockout. I think it's going to end with David Benavidez getting the 12th round decision over Gvozdyk. I just think he's too fast for him. And I think the speed, I think his power going to translate up. So with the power and the speed, I think he's going to be too much for Gvozdyk to handle. But I think Gvozdyk is strong enough to really withstand the power. So I think he's going to just probably give it all he had, and then he's going to have a nice shootout. But he's going to get outboxed by Benavidez for sure. So my prediction for this fight is David Benavidez by decision. All right, so let me know what y'all think. This your boy Rebel Life Boxing. I'll catch y'all later on the next one. And I'm off this.